The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Tiger Technician Hour with your host, Basil Chapman. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Now, Basil Chapman.
Hi, folks. Basil Chapman here, and this is the last day of the trading week, and we're looking at the Dow up. This is amazing. Up 201. Look at those three candles. There was a Mariposa candle. This is where there's pretty much no wick. On Tuesday, we got long that in the morning, pre-open. Got back, so we're a long core position from way back with options on March 23rd last year. Then we added on the 3rd, I think, of April, we added the Dow Diamonds. We've taken a little bit off of those. We kept the core position, and we've been trading around it up and down, up and down, up and down. And the last trade that we've got that we're holding right now is long early on at about 35,000, I think it was, on Tuesday morning. So we've got the diamonds as a trading vehicle. And I'm saying trading vehicle. We've got a nice question here from Hi Basil. Let's assume December ends with down near this 11 plus minus. Do you anticipate further weakness in January before the next leg up in monthly begins? Thanks. Have a great holiday, Kevin. You too, Kevin, and everyone else. What I will say is this. It's interesting how time can usurp the price values so that when you look back, you say, wow, it felt like it was just a short period, but look at that. Look at this. The high was on a weekly basis, 12th of November. So we are now at the 23rd of December, so it's about 6 weeks. And look what's happened. We haven't, in all that time, we've gone from 36,565 in the weekly chart down to the low of 34,022. That was, December the 1st. And then we rallied back. And even though the candles have been fantastic, look at this big red candle to the low, then a huge green candle, then a big red candle. And then we make a lower low, but it turns out today, because it's Friday, unless it's just a massive turn down by the end of the day, it looks like there's going to be a nice big green candle. Well, do we keep rotating? Do we now have just kind of a good rally, but Friday week from tomorrow, we land up at the very last hour of the last day of the last week of the last month of the year? You remember what I said? So, when I'm using this on the Dow, but it actually applies to most of the key indices, that if they survive the usual September-October selling, and the end of October lands up either close to the yearly high or the first week of December, there's a really good chance that somehow, some way, whatever it is, we land up pretty close to that high at the end of the year. That's just my memory. I don't even want to go back and look at it. Just my memory said that's the way it is. Of course, you can't trust my memory, but that's kind of what I had at the back of my head. And we've still got 4 sessions to go. Anything can happen. But look at this. The Dow has managed to get the MACD. Not great, but it's positive daily. The stochastic's lousy. It's a 64%. On balance volume is horrible. The 9-period moving average flipped on Wednesday, Thursday. Today's Thursday. At the end on Tuesday, going into Wednesday, positive again, back to green. It's gone above the Chapman wave inside track repellent zone. It could do a 1-to-1 to the upside. We don't know that. And all we know is that the technicals are price is the arbiter of movement. That's what I always say. So the price is saying this is fantastic action. Dow 35,970, 600 points away from an all-time high. It could do that in a day. It could do that in 3 weeks. You never know how long it's going to take. But the most important thing is that the price movement is going to help the technicals. All right? So set that aside. And all I can say is this, Kevin, to answer your question, my thinking up until yesterday afternoon when the market closed and I was doing some homework, and I'd say, there are enough Dow stocks to really keep this propped up. So it's going to be bad news. And we've had so much bad news, and yet the market's starting to ignore it. The whole COVID and the variations. People are just getting tired of this. We were at a restaurant yesterday that we frequent for the last 17, 18 years. In fact, whole South African group, I'm originally from South Africa, we kind of meet there periodically, maybe twice on Friday night. We meet there just because it's so easy to, it's like a deli type thing. So you can show up anytime, you pay for yourself. If you're there, you're there. If you're not, you're not. And then we sit at the same table. And I said to Alex, I said, how are things going? He says, we are busier than ever. And mostly it's takeout. And you used to be busier than ever because people used to be there. And now it's mostly takeout. He's always had a takeout business, but now that's his prime business. So how I got into this is to say that in many ways, people work out, they make plans based on conditions. And those conditions, how they change, it takes a little while for them to get used to it. And then that becomes the vernacular that they actually perform in. And if you look at the market is saying, and I'll do this now, I'll skip a little bit. Look, Marriott is at almost close to its all-time high. At 163, up $1.33, all-time high. I forgot to put that in. It was 172, I think it was. Let me guess. 171.68 on the 5th of November. Was that the all-time high? I'm going to just check. Yeah, all-time high. Look at Hilton. Hilton, Hilton, HLT. The previous high was 154.40 something, and now it's at 154.75. You remember I said how often we've got old highs, even if it's just weeks, it could be months, it could be years. The fascinating thing over the last year and a half is how many stocks have come back and then tested almost to the penny. And they maybe stalled a little bit at that level. So this is Hilton worldwide, today at an all-time high. If we were having such a terrible, if we were looking at conditions under usual pandemic, if there's such a thing as usual pandemic, it should be back at the lows down to 130 level, not at 153.23. If you're looking at jets, this is the airline index, struggling to get off the lows. So it's very specific to areas. And I'm just saying to you, Kevin, I don't know whether I can say to you that we're going to have a big tumble in January. My gut and my eye have been saying that there's a really good chance that we have a big consolidation because there are some areas that are way overbought, and I'm including applied materials. And then I look at applied materials and I say, wait a minute, 159 was the all-time high on the 16th of November. It's at 156 right now. It's within an eye blink of its all-time high. That's the semiconductor index, Dow's up 247. I'll be right back. That's why we are long, only long.
Are you looking for a way to consistently add winning trades to your portfolio? Tom O'Brien is here to help. Tom O'Brien has been successfully trading markets for over 30 years. A frequent contributor to TD Ameritrade Network and CNBC, Tom O'Brien founded TFNN over 20 years ago to help educate investors just like you. Tom's daily market newsletter, Market Insights, is published every morning when the markets open to give you the competitive informational edge you need to succeed. These newsletters are packed full of Tom's advanced technical analysis and are geared to deliver comprehensive strategies for a successful portfolio. Get Tom O'Brien's newsletter, Market Insights, today and try all of our products and newsletters 30 days risk-free with our money-back guarantee at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
What's separating you from the most successful men and women on Wall Street? That's right, information. Having all the information gives us the perspective we need to place the right trades at the right time. The TAS Profile Scanner is the premier market profile-based scanner. Powered by its acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner instantly filters over 2,500 plus global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. This powerful suite of tools leverages instant trade filtering and strategy formulation to show you emerging trades before they happen. For a limited time, you can save $100 off your first month by using the promo code UPGRADE, and you still get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Level the playing field with the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find under the Services tab at TFNN.com. Sign up today.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
So we're back. So I didn't actually finish. Let me just do this. I think I need to. So I had a statement that Dan I couldn't actually read it from here. I'm just seeing the actual symbols. Fortinet. Inc. I did this the other day. I can't remember if I did this for subscribers. I know I did it for myself. I think I did it last weekend on the overview section. Fortinet cybersecurity is one of the best in the business there. It's trading almost at an all-time high, 355.35, opens at 345 round number on the 8th of September. Plunges down to 290. I would say there's 60 points on a $355 stock. It's a bit of a pullback, 18% or so. And now what is it at? 353.42 in leg B in the Chapman wave. And I'm calling this a leg B, buy mode. And that's why I wanted to say, Kevin, I just don't know. The reason why I wanted to get into the long position and I sacrificed, there were some stocks that I just knew I wanted to grab, but I don't normally have more than one, maybe two longs at any particular time. New positions every day. I try to look at new positions whenever I can. I didn't want to add 3 or 4, so I gave up on 2 that were real screamers. Sorry, they weren't screamers because they were very high. They were priced higher than a screamer, which is single digits. But we did grab a screamer, and the reason I did that is because I thought I love the stock. It covers a whole bunch of the sectors that I like. It was at $9.30, and I thought if I got this stock, because I like the pattern, it could be it could be more than just a screamer. It could be actually turned into a short-term position, and then maybe even an intermediate-term position in this particular market. So I'm saying selectivity is so important. Look, the cyber area, you've got some cyber stocks that are, what is cyber, CYBR doing? Today I'm jumping around. I'll get to all the different indices, but I have to jump around. I had so many questions. Look, cyber is way down in its lows. It's a 170. It hit 143.90, but it was at an all-time high. Just mid-November, it was at 201. Cyber Arc. So even within the sector of cybersecurity, you've got very tremendous selectivity, and that's really what I'm saying. I just wanted to see this here. So we're just pulling back a little bit so we did make leg D and a peak D in the 2-minute E-mini chart. I'm going to be watching this close. I don't know if I can do this right now. Whenever I try to put a trade on in the middle of this program, I put myself in a hazardous position because I could easily click on the wrong thing, which I tend to do sometimes. So I'm going to just be careful here. So I want you to do this. I wanted to just jump around and say, over the next week, going into all of next week, I'm going to be everywhere, all over the show, because I've got so many different questions about different areas. For instance, CRWD, question in the den. Crowd, I don't see anything on CrowdStrike. There's a site, actually, this is exactly the one I was looking for. Cybersecurity CrowdStrike. Why is this down at 206 with the all-time high of 298 just in November the 9th? That's exactly, thank you very much. That was a question. That's exactly what I wanted to point out, that we are looking at a rotation, and the rotation says, be very selective. We being very selective, we've got a stock at all-time highs right now. We've got stocks that are doing very nicely. And we've got one that we got stopped out of. I'm so upset. We just got stopped out of it, and was one that we waited and got, and now it's back where it was at the highs just the other day, a yearly high. But we've got one within the sector that's doing just equally nicely. So I want you to do this now because I had a question from Paul about Moz, which is a mosaic. This is called, this used to be absolutely fully notated going back to the day that it started as an IPO. It's somewhere in my library. I'll just do this real quickly. A, B, unbelievable. And that's a C. It's made a peak C. So mosaic. This is in the agricultural field. This is potash. So what do they do? God, I should remember. Yes. So what I am looking at is this is acting so well in the day. Look, the daily's gone peak A from the low that was made at about 33, 32. It goes A, B, C. That's a D. And this is a leg E. When you're coming off a bottom, E is the one that you want to think of. Yes, it could be because there was an arch formation, but very successful because it held very nicely. And now it is moving up. I like this very much. It's a commodity play. If you're in this, you just asked me, can I look at it? Paul, if you are in this, hold it. And what I would do is I would look to add, because I think this whole commodity area, I think 2022 we're going to see, that's why we've held the DB Agricultural Fund all this time. It had a fabulous move, gap up the other day. I wasn't expecting that, but you got corn, you got all of these things moving quickly. I like this mosaic. I want you to please, if you aren't in it, this is now a little tough for me because this is an extension after being in the 32, 33 area, is now trading at 39. That's 6 points. It's almost 20%. So I'm going to say to you, in your position that you wanted, if you haven't got it already, start your position here at 39.04, but it really has to be less, much less than you would have. Why? Because if it pulls back into the 38, 37 area, that's where you really would want to start adding to a position. So this is where you just start a little starter position at 39. If it goes higher, fine, then we'll have to deal with it, find another area of support. But I do think that it will be pulling back a little bit. If it's 39.06, you might say, what's the big deal about a point and a half? If your target is, what's your target? Will it be this gap area, the gap of the 2nd of November with a high of 40.07, and then a high the previous day, a low of 42.02. That would be my next step, but it might need a little pullback to garner the energy to power up. But if you're looking at your left side, right side price time match, it's already gone past that one. I now have to do this, make my arch that way. This is the cup formation, the cup formation. Do my left side, right here, right into there. And I usually like to initially, if I can, and it looks very even, I like to make it to the trough, saying the number of bars to the downside should equal the number of bars to the upside. There's the two little factors that I have to do right now to be able to match that. So that takes you right there. I can't even stretch that far. That says by January, is that January? December. Yeah, by the first week of January, there should be, and now I'm going to give you the rest of the story. I can't go from this trough. Well, I guess I can. I'll do it two ways. I'll do this trough and this third trough over there. And that says you're right at resistance based on the first methodology in the Chapman wave, the smorgasbord of techniques I have. And it says that by Tuesday, if it's able to not just touch 39.66, but actually break above it, my target would be by the following week, 39.78, and then 40. Oops, what is the low there? 42. That would be my target. I suspect it's going to take a little bit longer. I'll be back.
Are you having fun trading the markets, but having trouble finding like-minded individuals to discuss your trading and investment ideas with? Become an apex predator in the trading markets and join the Tiger's Den Trading Room only at TFNN.com. The Tiger's Den is an exclusive trading room where successful traders from around the world come to exchange trades and ideas. Join the den and surround yourself with the sharpest minds in the trading world. Subscribers to the Tiger's Den are also the first to have their questions answered live on air and can privately chat with our TFNN hosts live during their shows. Interact with other Tigers and Tigresses as they share trading ideas, news analysis, and discuss the market action all trading day. Subscribe to the Tiger's Den risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee and become part of the TFNN trading community. TFNN, educating investors.
You could be making money off the stock market. And if you're already making money off the stock market, you could be making a lot more. Check out TFNN and Tiger TV and get expert investing advice to give you the power to control your financial future. Go to TFNN.com and find the newsletter for you. Whether you're into trading gold, metals, futures, currencies, or options, you'll get advice and analysis to help you seriously get ahead. TFNN also features trading services with a 30-day money-back guarantee for new subscribers, as well as TFNN's Tiger Den Trading Room, trading software, and educational webinars for all trading levels. And make sure you check out Tiger TV for free on TFNN.com or TFNN's YouTube channel for live financial content from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern on market days. Stop watching on the sidelines while other people get rich and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartleys, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Hi, folks. We're back, and we're going to go straight to Sharky. How are you? And, wait a minute. Yep, we've got Sharky where? You're on the road. Okay. How are you doing? I hope you're driving safe.
Hi, Basil. How are you? Yes, I'm up at Waterville Valley trying to see if I can, trade in my fins for the day and just do some skiing. But hey, I wanted to thank to you and to Tom and to TFN and all the people support Allison and Tom Jr. and Tom O'Brien Sr. and Dave White and Steve Rhodes and Larry Pesavento and all that you do. Just happy holidays and safe to you all. And And then I want to give you a treat before we go, but you can talk a little bit about Procter & Gamble, but I want to give a treat, a holiday gift for the Denners and for anyone else that wants to take and look at some of the stuff that I've done on the water. It's a 5-minute video off of YouTube, and I'll give you the password before we go, okay?
Great. So now you're trading in the underwater for the above water today. Very good. The frozen water. Very good. So PG. So Procter & Gamble. Now this is very interesting. I was talking just a moment ago about selectivity. Well, in this particular market, and one of the things I've tried to emphasize for a long time, I've spoken about the Bondi, Goldie, Dolly, and Vixie. Try to think of them completely separate units. So very often over a period of time, you'll get some of them joining together. Gold and the VIX might go together, or bonds will go one way and the dollar go the other way. But what we dollar and gold. But I've said for a while, try to think of these things as very separate, because it's going to help you in this particular environment. Well, I'm going to say exactly the same thing here. Procter & Gamble, a defensive issue within pennies of an all-time high in a market like this. Normally, if the Dow was down 15% or 20%, you'd find that the safety factor with Procter & Gamble, with the GIS is General Mills, also made an all-time high just 4 days ago. They would be rallying, and the market would be. So this is the most diverse market we've seen in ages because of the selectivity that I was talking about. Even within a sector, we just saw that. What was it? Fortinet is up in the cybersecurity up at all-time highs, and what was the other one we were looking at just a moment ago? We've got down at the lows. So this is a market, and Kevin said, I be selective, but the Dow just went up 800 points when many anticipated a pullback. Thanks, Kevin. So I'm saying that this is exactly the issue. So there's just going to be a moment coming up, and I think fairly soon, where for Procter & Gamble's one that in my Chapman Wave methodology, I don't know how to count this last peak. If it was peak A, it means that we're still going up for the next month, or at least next 3 weeks, to higher highs. I've got this as a B and not an F in the weekly chart, and only a C rather than calling it an E in the weekly, or it could be even an F. So Procter & Gamble, household products, all I can say is that for those of you who have been in the so-called safety area, I don't mean safety meaning Raytheon, I'm talking about safety meaning the consumer goods. This is the staples. This is the area that has been absolutely on fire. I love the stock. I love the way it looks, and it gives a dividend. I suspect that when it does come down, it's going to come down for reasons that we just can't see at this particular point. So do you have Procter & Gamble?
No. I just wanted to get your idea about it, and and if we do get a pullback here, kind of where, might be a good entry, Basil.
So what I would say is this: at this particular point, it's a leader, and stocks that make all-time highs tend to stay in the new all-time high area for a while. So I'm not going to say anything about the short side of Procter & Gamble. What I am going to say is, if they have the consumer goods, the prices that are going up in areas, the commodity areas, at some point it's going to hurt sales. Maybe it's not showing up yet. I suspect it will at some point. So all I can say is that I love the action right now. If you had to say to me, would you buy it at 160? I would say as part of my portfolio, I would make it a small part of my portfolio, and just it'll help to have incremental gains. But I do think that in 3 weeks' time, if Procter & Gamble isn't under 153, that's 7 points from here, I'd be real surprised, because it's had a spectacular move, and I'm sure that I'm going to have to change the labeling on this monthly chart. Everything looks ready to have a consolidation, but it's been fantastic. So as a part of a portfolio, yes, but I would now say the risk reward is starting to I think it's a little high. That's all.
Yep. Okay, well, listen, why did I give this to you? I know I've talked and people know me as the white shark in there, and this is a 5-minute video of some stuff over 38 years of diving that I put together with some sharks. And if I give you the path, people can just go into Google and type in YouTube space Philip with one L, PHILIP, and then space silent predators.
Silent predators?
Yep, silent predators. Okay. So it's YouTube, Philip with one L, PHILIP, silent predators. And the video should come up.
Fabulous. That sounds great. And have a wonderful Christmas, you and the family. And thank you for calling. I appreciate that. And I will be looking at that video. Thank you, Philip.
Listen, God bless, and all the best to everyone in the den. Okay?
Thank you. They're all appreciating it. Thank you very much. Have a great day, great weekend. So, folks, let's just do this. Got a ton of calls. Questions. So, a question came in about a firm. A firm is down at the bottom. You see, this is interest-free, interest-bearing loans of firm holdings. It was an absolute winner, going to 176. Now it's at 190. Now it's at 96, under the 200-period moving average. Got to be real careful. Let's go to Bill in Boca Raton. Bill, how are you?
I'm fine. Thank you for taking my call.
My pleasure.
I'm interested in Nucor, NUE.
Yes. So do you have a position in NUE, Nucor Corporation Steel Company?
Yes.
Okay. Are you in the money right now, or are you underwater?
No.
In the money?
In the money.
Okay. So the reason why I asked that question, because this is always on my list together with U.S. Steel X. Look at X. It went to 28.36 back in November. It's trading now at 22. It went to 21 just the other day. It's struggling. Look at SLX, which is the Van Eck Vector Steel ETF, is down towards the bottom end, and yet Nucor, which is really one of the best, as I understand it, one of the best in the company. CLF does the ball bearings, not ball bearings, they do iron ore pellets, flat roll steel, Cleveland Cliffs. So that's in the steel area. Also right on the 200-period moving average. So you have one of the best in the industry, Nucor. Can you hold on a second? Because there are a couple of things I want to discuss with you. What it would take for it to start to break out, but it is holding better than the others. I'll be back in a moment with Bill. We're looking at NUE Nucor. Be right back. Dow's up 210, S&P's up 27.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Hi folks, we're back. Dow's up to 14, S&P's at 27, just kind of stuck there for the moment. What we're looking at is in Nucor, NUE trading at 114.23 up 59 cents. It's got a large rectangle formation, and within that, there's another little one. And what you really need to see, I suspect because of the way it's held up at this particular point, going into all of next week and then the first part of the first week of January, going to say that Wednesday of, the 5th or something of January, I suspect that if Nucor is able to hold above 110 to 109 support, I don't care where it goes on the upside. I'm more interested in the fact that it doesn't break down. In fact, it's at 114. I don't even want to see it do that. I would like to see it hold 112 maximum on the downside, preferably because today it's working its way in the trend of the market, which is up, but not great, but it is up 54 cents. So I like it. I suspect, given the chart pattern that I'm looking at in the weekly chart, and I'm going to draw this in because that's the pattern that I'm seeing is the oval pattern. It's a particular pattern that I use, Chapman wave stalk leg formation. And that says there should be, if it doesn't take out, once again, I'll say that 100, that's much lower. That's a weekly chart. 103, I don't even want to go there. I'm just going to say if it doesn't take out the 14-period moving average around about 110, but in fact starts to move up, the pattern says there should be one sudden spike to a leg D under the previous 128.81 peak D that was made back in, I think maybe August. And if it's able to do that, it should pop over 122.06. But I suspect then what will happen is it'll come back in there. So it means that I'm looking at a chart that says, unless there's a catalyst for a move of, it has to be like 8 points. That's a lot. But 8 points to the upside, it could remain in the sideways pattern a little longer. I would love to see it hold in the sideways pattern until maybe sometime in January when talk about infrastructure comes back again, and then you should see the steel stocks have a nice move to the upside. So I like it. I need speed right now because it's so stuck in this narrow trading band that just a narrow trading band on the chart. If you're in it, moving 4 points is a big deal on a $114 stock. But I'm talking about the bigger move, the 8 point up or the 8 point down. I want to see it move more towards the upside. I don't care if it's, I'd prefer to just do it slowly, methodically, so that it's building, so the MACD and the daily can start to improve. It's just kind of weak right now. Stochastics at 55. I'm not getting any sign of strength except the 9 is above the 14, and that's what's held it in a buy mode all this time. So I'm saying to you, I like it. I would prefer to look at it as a longer-term position, but if it's a longer-term position, I personally would have a tough time if it suddenly closed under 108. 6 points below this, I'd say, oh, because if it goes deeper than that, it could be the H pattern. It could go quite easily. It could go, it could go even lower. So how about we look at it together? It is on my list. I'm always watching the steel stocks. So Nucor, I like as a longer term, kind of a buy and hold. If you're prepared to hold it and close your eyes and say, I don't care where it goes, it should make a leg D in the monthly chart above 128.81. That's kind of the way that I would look at something like the steel stock. But if it's shorter term, I would say that if it dips in the next week under 100, if it closes under 110, I would have 108 as some kind of a stop on the position. Preferably, what you want to see is that the other steel stocks start to move up a little bit. This one leads the way, and it gets to 118. It trades in the 118s for 2 consecutive days. I would say that's really what you want to see. That'll be a good sign. I hope that helps you.
I'll keep an eye on it. Thank you, Basil.
Okay, well, and just remind me, just maybe even next week, just give a yell and we'll look at it together. Thank you for calling in. A Merry Christmas to you. Folks, let's just do this because I got a whole bunch of other areas that if I could look at. So one is, Oracle. Oracle, I'd said in the den of RCL, it looks to me like Ellison's going to have to get a new cook because on his boat, because it spiraled, it gapped up to 106. Within 2 days, it went underneath the gap up low. Then it went up towards the middle, and then it gapped down. It almost is like an island reversal. And this is the pattern I call the Eiffel Tower. Straight up, straight down. It looks like an uppercase A, and it's at 89.22. This is 20 points, almost 20 points below where it was just a couple of weeks ago. I'm just going to say to you, leg D, peak D in the weekly chart, leg E in the monthly. I wouldn't be surprised if something's going on with Oracle, and that Oracle is having a really big digestive phase. I personally would not wait. I would not be in it. I see that you did say you started a position, but it's not acting all that well. To tell you the truth, I would avoid. There are other stocks that I would go for at $89 that I think are on the way up rather than consolidating on the way down. So I would step aside from Oracle. I mean, $89. There's so many stocks. I just thought I'd let you grab an $89 stock. It's in an area that I don't know anything in that area at $89. I got other $89 stocks, but I would just say be very careful. Look, stocks that are making lower lows on a weekly basis every single day, it just says something's not right, especially in this market which is almost at all-time highs. So just be real careful. Next question I had was, could I look at where did it go? Countdown. Okay, there it is. So FCX is a copper. So copper's acting much better. The copper stocks are acting better than copper because look at copper, HG. Copper's at the lower end of the rung. It looks like a rectangle formation. It is trying to form a big bowl cup pattern. I don't trust these patterns because it hung around at the lows too long. It hasn't broken any of the resistance on the upside. But yet, look at TGB, which is Taseko Mines. Lovely action. Almost put it on the list for subscribers today. It's at $2.04, that is. This is Taseko Mines. It's not great, but it's acting really well this week as opposed to something like an Oracle that's going down for 4 days. There's up green arrows. So that's good. And FCX, Freeport McMoran, nice pattern. It is trying to get to the recent highs at 40.79. This is a better pattern. It's got the cup formation. Let me just draw it in here. Look at that, a cup formation. That's a lopsided cup, more like a gravy bowl, but it is a cup formation. This is peak A, peak B. It's in leg C. I'm calling it blue leg C. This is a buy mode in FCX, Freeport McMoran. It is trading at 40.81. MACD's at 79, just about 80% So the MACD is good, stochastic 80 it needs on-balance volume to rally. I'll be back in a moment. Dow's up 208. I'll be right back.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Are you looking for a secured investment which pays you on a monthly basis? The Tiger First Mortgage Program may be the program for you. The best rate on a 5-year CD in the country right now, according to Bankrate.com, is paying 1% per year or $1,000 per $100,000 invested. The Tiger First Mortgage Program pays 7% per year, paid monthly, on secured, high-value, buildable properties in St. Petersburg, Florida. The investment is for 4 years, paying 7% per year or $7,000 per $100,000 invested. Your investment is secured by high-value real estate in St. Petersburg, Florida. Your investment can be anywhere from $100,000 to $500,000. Do you want to make $1,000 per year on $100,000 invested or $7,000 per year on a secured Tiger First mortgage? The Tiger First Mortgage Program may be just the program for you. The Tiger First Mortgage Program pays 7% per year, paid monthly. For more information, you can call 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Hi, folks. So I did so many things during the break. Yeah. So just Freeport McMahon, as I said, this is ABC. This is leg C, and it's doing very nicely. This is already a good sign. If I put it together with Wood, the global timber and forestry ETF, which is it's just kind of stuck. I was going to say it's starting to act better. It's not holding the good part, so that doesn't fit. Then a quick question I had, it wasn't a quick, it was GFI, which is GFI is Goldfields Limited. Now, is that South Africa? I should remember this because I remember I think it's South African. So it's just stuck. And what you want to see at 10.56, it needs very quickly to take out for leg C to the upside. It needs to take out that peak B at 10.74 and then close at the high. It can't just do it and come back into this trading band. It has to show that it's making a V-shaped type recovery. So it's not acting badly. It's holding. The 9 is just today about to cross positive, and that's a good sign. I'm looking at some of the gold stocks, and I'm looking to see whether or not we get back into the GDX because something's happening here that's an improvement, but it's not great. So I'll have to do some work over the weekend to see whether or not these gold stocks are ready for a better move to the upside. Next question I had was Sophie. So Sophie or SoFi, I'm not sure exactly how they pronounce it, had a spectacular move to 24.65. SoFi Technologies, Inc., digital financial services with mobile applications. You know, IPO spirals up to 28, plunges down to 14, gets cut in half, and then goes back up again and comes back. This whipsaw action says, I'm now tired. I made this double top. Beautiful. Remember, I was talking about these double tops, how it goes within pennies. It did that, and then moved to the 24s. Now it's down at 13. It's at 14.91. I don't know. I'd be real careful. We'll talk about it again early next week. So I guess that's the show. Wow, it was quick. Have a wonderful Christmas, everyone. Stay tuned. I'll do the news, and then have a great program for the rest of the day. See you back here on Monday. Check out the Opening Call Daily newsletter, and thanks for being here. And all I can say is